Hello, everybody. It's Lauren Kling. Welcome to another Film Threat Watch Party. We are going to watch the independent comedy Call Me Brother. This film stars Christina Parrish and Andrew Dismukes as brother and sister who are recently reunited after being separated by their parents' divorce. Sounds like a wonderful topic of conversation. We are going to talk all about that. You can stream it right now on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Vimeo, Alamo On Demand, and wherever you can find your streaming services. This is the Film Threat Watch Party. All right, so if you guys are watching live with us, you can post your questions on our YouTube, on our Facebook, and our Twitch channels, and throughout the evening, we will present the questions to the cast and the crew. I'll bring them on in just a moment. But I want to share a little bit about the review that our very own Alan Ng, the question he posed in his review. He said of this film, what would happen if siblings, after a long separation, were reunited at the point in life when hormones are raging, and your long-lost sister's pretty good looking? This is the reason why this movie is not on Amazon, and we'll talk to the director and the writer about this. Call Me Brother goes down this road, makes you a little bit uncomfortable about the subject matter, but there's so much comedy and great cinematography. We're going to bring on Justin Howe. We're going to find out where David found Justin, and if we think there's big things for Justin in his cinematography future. Oh, by the way, did anybody watch the Film Threat Awards, this award show that took place recently? You can go to filmthreat.com. You can watch interviews and video clips from the 2021 Award This event that happened here in Southern California. And this little old film right here won Best Indie Comedy, Best Director. So this is pretty exciting. Speaking of that, so let's see if we have any questions so far. We do, so keep those questions coming. By the way, this is a second screen experience. So what that means is you're going to watch the movie on a TV, on a tablet, on a phone, however you want to do that, while on another screen, you can watch us and ask questions, and the hilarity will ensue. You know what? Let's bring on the director. Why not? I think he's ready. All the way from the green room, let's bring on David Howe. How are you, David?
Good. How is everybody doing? Hello.
Hello. Welcome. So while we're waiting for a few of your cast members, yes, there's your award.
Yeah, that's right. The Film Threat Award, this award. Thank you very much, Film
Yes.
Threat.
Now, just like the Stanley Cup, have you passed that around and let people pee into it?
Well, first of all, no, certainly not on the peeing. And second of all, I'm trying to follow proper COVID protocols. So we're not passing around a lot of cups these days. I did put some Topo Chico seltzer in here though. And the alcoholic kind. So I had a good time with it.
Yes. All right. Awesome. And oh yes, Summer asks the question, will you say when to press play? Yes, we will do that to make sure that that it plays at the same time. So good for asking. Our very own Film Threat says we can't wait to hear all of the secrets behind the film. So David, this is where you're gonna let out some secrets. Are there any things you want to let out about the cast that's going to join us in a little bit? Things they can't defend themselves on right now?
Oh, like nasty secrets about the cast of this movie?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I don't know if I know any nasty secrets. They're all totally lovely people.
Okay.
We've got I don't know if we should introduce them just yet, but we've got Nick and Kim and Christina that'll all be joining us. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking in our green room, and I don't know where Kim is, so maybe she gave up on the whole thing.
I'm sure she'll be back.
But you know what? Geez, we're 5 minutes in, so why don't we bring on whoever we have in here?
Sure.
So let's bring in, don't know where Nick is, but let's bring in our man, Big Horse. Hold on a second.
Let's see. That's right. I keep forgetting I did that.
What's up, Big Horse?
Hey, David.
So,
oh, hey, Joe.
This is Nick Severino, who plays Brian.
I'm going to stand in for her for a little bit.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. We're trying to do a professional stream, Joe.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now, so I have a question. You're on what we would call in California a porch, but would that be a stoop, or is that a porch?
No, I feel like stoops have more steps. This is porch.
Yeah.
How many steps are required to have a stoop?
I would say 3. Based off the Hey Arnold Stoop Kid episode, I would say at least 3.
I think you could just have a 1-step stoop.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
So Big Horse says 3-step stoop. All right, let's bring. I think she's ready. Hello, Kim, who played Rachel. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Hi.
Hey,
Wonderful.
Kim.
Welcome. We're wondering if you have any steps or a stoop in front of where you live.
No, it's more of a slight ramp and then a step. Maybe it's a step.
Oh, okay. We
I
just
want
have
some steps.
all right. We just have a threshold. I don't know how this conversation has now become about steps versus stoops.
That's what this movie is really about. If you look in the subtext of between the lines, you can see really what this movie's about. Yeah.
And then, not to torture him any longer, but let's bring on Justin Howe, who just goes by Justin these days. How you doing?
Oh, how's it going? Glad
Good.
to join
Welcome.
this conversation that's already underway.
Yeah, would you? I could see you kind of wanting to do this. What's your feeling on stoops versus porches?
Well, I got a stoop. I got a good old stoop with many, many O's on it. And so I just wanted to let you know I'm bringing that kind of aspect to the stream as well.
Okay.
Got it. All right.
Very
So
cool.
we already have an important question. If anybody wants to answer, Danny wants to know: is it okay to watch with my 5-year-old?
There's Christina. Danny. Well, it depends on how many words your 5-year-old understands, because there's a threshold, right? It's like after a certain point, you could just show them whatever, and it'll just kind of go right over, right?
Man, they won't know anything.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Well, I know you're all moms, but I would say maybe not.
Yeah.
You really think? Oh, wait, Kim, your 5-year-old was so smart that they would have understood this movie?
There are things I can't say out loud without them being spoilers, but yeah, there are some things they would see visually that they'd be like, "Oh, okay."
Also, Nick, I think you're giving the movie a little bit. I think you're giving the movie a little bit too much credit. It might be a little bit of a dumber movie than you're making it out to be. Hey, Christina, you got to grab a second screen.
Oh,
It would be much easier. If you had a laptop and we doubled than not my phone.
Yeah. Get a laptop, Christina.
Well, yeah. Well, one because
just two-headed people walking on a phone.
Well, you guys are both big horse. One of you is big and one of you is horse.
And I'm certainly the horse.
One, because it is kind of hard to hear Nick, and I don't want to miss anything from Nick, because Nick's a comedian like Christina, and
That's right.
And comedians don't work that well when you can't hear them, and Nick would agree.
I agree.
I think a lot of people who've seen my set would disagree.
I find that comedy works best when people can't hear it.
And we can barely hear you right now, so
We're just shouting.
so you may have to scream into the microphone or get yourself a third
I'm
screen.
logging in.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, log in on your laptop, Christina. See, this is the content that people came to see.
Well,
Okay.
Danny says the F word, and so wonderful parenting.
Oh, okay, nice. Nice.
I think that's fine.
Thank
Okay,
you, Danny.
I'm going to defer to Kim for the correct behavior, between a parent and their children of what's acceptable.
Also, if Danny's like picture there is any indication, that kid is way younger than 5. He'll be fine.
I think, we let our kids cuss at home. They knew they couldn't cuss at school or in front of grandma, and that was kind of the rule. So if he understands how to use the word fuck, then maybe he should watch the movie. Maybe he'll love it. He'll dig it. I mean, it depends. Does he have a sister?
Hey, mommies and daddies.
That sounds so much better.
Yeah, that sounds really good. All right, so if you guys are just joining us a little bit late, this is the Film Threat Watch Party for Call Me Brother. We're going to start in about 5 minutes. And so we're not going to play the movie because we don't have the permission, because then we'd have to pay another $1.50 to the members of our panel.
God forbid.
Yeah, we would never accept that.
We're too cheap.
Indie film doesn't make money. That's what everyone knows.
You do it for the love, right?
I do it for the love and for the touch.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they say. That's the old adage. Yeah.
We have another dad. You can see this is our very own Alan Ng, and he wants to let his 5-year-old watch the movie with his sister.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's fine.
Go ahead. It's funny. They won't.
It's a family comedy. Also, Alan gave us the review, I believe, correct?
He did. Yeah,
it's a great review, Alan. Thank you very much.
It was a really good review. Alan's daughter's a little bit older than 5. I think she might. I think Alan would have to have the talk.
Oh, the talk where you go, yo, shit is weird.
Stuff feels good, and then a baby's there.
That's I can definitely not hear Alan going, "Yo, let's have a talk."
Hey, who wrote that? Who wrote that? The Mitchells versus the Machines review. I read that one today. That was controversial.
I don't know. It wasn't me, so we can put that question.
We'll talk after the stream.
I need it.
Yeah.
I need this.
You look beautiful, Christina.
Hey, thank you, David.
Yeah, no problem. How do I look?
You look okay.
Okay.
Got his ass.
Would you like to pose the same questions to Justin and Kim since they're on?
Oh. Yeah, do you guys think I look good?
Yeah.
All right. David, is it true that this movie was banned from Amazon or not allowed or something like that?
Absolutely. Yeah. That was the one thing our distributor promised us. No, I'm just kidding. Was that we would get onto Amazon streaming. And then we got all their other movies are on, and they've got like some crazy, like Leomark, our distributor, they've got some like crazy grindhousey movies, right? So we were like, okay, surely it's not going to be a problem for our movie to get on there,
Well,
like
it was.
Yeah, but it totally was. They didn't give us any good reason. They just said for content, it's not appropriate for their streaming distribution platform. That having been said, and not even streaming, just like having the VOD up on Amazon servers. That having been said, you can buy the Blu-ray on the Amazon store, so there's a little bit of hypocrisy going on there somewhere. But yeah, if you're trying to watch this movie right now and you don't have your own copy, we've got links to like everywhere you can buy it at callmebrother.com. So
excellent.
Who needs Bezos and his goon squad?
You can watch it on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and then I didn't know Alamo Draft House had their own rental service.
Yeah, they started it over the pandemic.
Nice, but they didn't include like somebody bringing me dinner, which would kind of a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
Hey, your partner should be bringing you the dinner.
Sure. Christina's all about the nuclear family and gender norms.
I really liked Parasite, but the other way.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
All right. So Call Me Brothers, a touching little movie. We're going to start in a minute. So what's going to happen is I'm going to do an over-the-top finger pointing towards the camera as we do a countdown. And what you'll do is you'll play the movie at the same time. And of course, because of the internet, we won't be on the exact same frame. We may be off by a few seconds. Depending on what Christine is drinking, she may or may not hit the right button, or she may just end her internet connection.
I love this. Make alcoholics feel bad.
That's Christina's whole MO. Yeah.
That's why I made this movie, is that so people know that I'm a drug addict whore.
Speaking of that, where is Nick? Are we getting him back?
What?
He's out there. He'll come back.
So, all right. So it's 5:15.
He's a good
Let's
boy.
start the movie, but that doesn't mean we can't still completely talk about things that have nothing to do with the movie. That's what we do at these watch parties. But for everyone else, this is like attending a live taping of a DVD commentary, when the commentary may or may not have anything to do with the movie you're watching. So with that being said, let's what should we do? Like a 5-minute countdown? Does anybody want to count down from 5 minutes, and we'll press play at the same
5 minutes or 5 seconds?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do a 5-second countdown.
Christina, do you have the link, right?
Yeah, I'm on the YouTube.
All right,
okay.
Good. All right, Justin, Kim, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Wonderful. All right, and everybody out there, we'll count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and press play.
All right, that beautiful Leo Mark logo.
There's the Leo Mark logo. And what city are we seeing in the background? That was my first question.
That's I think that's a still from Blade Runner 2049.
Wonderful. I love this intro.
The lovely Danu there. We wanted to get Danu on for this, but she was unavailable today. I think she's on a trip. Her first trip of the pandemic.
Yeah, we're all kind of taking our first trips.
Yeah.
I'm going to Cancun next week.
For real?
Is what the mom, what Kim said, and
this little bird's got to fly.
I'm in Cancun.
All right, so as we see the opening of this film, whose house? It's got some classic like pink tile and a great old wooden based kitchen.
Well, there's secret number one, because that bathroom, we shot in basically like 3 locations for the house. There's like this right here, this yellow room that they're in, the bedroom. That's actually in the top part of a barn. That like Christina's grandma had some people like paint and move some stuff around to look like a bedroom. And then you've got the kind of main house, and that's Christina's grandma's house. And then that pink room was like these 2 older gentlemen, like that our producer David Buckstein knew, like owned this fancy pad with a really nice pink bathroom. So we shot that in there.
Can we go back to that comment that Christina's grandparents helped paint this random room?
Yeah, it's Christina's grandma, right? Yeah.
My grandma, because my granddad is dead. He couldn't paint because the ashes were too weak to lift the brush.
Yeah, it's too feeble.
All right, so Kim, let's go over to you.
What? What do
You're
I
killing it.
off in these?
You're killing it, Christina.
Kim, you and Christina perform in an improv group called Say Uncle Improv. Is that right? An all women's group?
Yes, it is.
That's awesome. How long have you been with the team, and how long's the team been around?
Christina, how long's the team been around?
It's been around for about, I would say, 3 years, 3.5 years.
Sounds about right. Do you count the past year, though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Did the team do anything virtually over the past year?
We made a series, not on purpose. We actually made a series that's coming out like within the next month called The Say. So be sure to tune into that, because it's 5-part series that's super chaotic. It's like The View gone straight to hell. And Kim was the producer on it, and so and makeup, and is in the commercials, and you'll see the insanity that Kim and I and the whole Say Uncle group brought to the camera. Insanity that people brought to the camera. That's cool. Glad I said that.
Yeah, that's a normal human way to say that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so fun, and it's crazy, and goes along with Christina's style of crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So this was filmed at like 3 different houses, and how long was the was principal shooting?
Overall, it was like a 14-day shoot, I believe.
Wow.
That's right, Justin. Yeah. 14 days. Yeah, it was like straddling Thanksgiving. So it was like the first week before Thanksgiving, and then we were off for like Thursday and Friday, and then we got back to it on that Saturday, I believe. And the whole first week was at this house. Yeah, kind of like it was like a big slumber party basically at this house while we shot here.
2 weeks for an indie. I mean, even for an indie production, that's a lot of filming in a short amount of time.
We basically went to camp.
Yeah. It was pretty bad way to make a movie, I'll say. I would not do that again if I had the option. I'd do 3 weeks next time, I think, if we did it.
Is there a good way to make an indie movie? It feels like you just do it.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say that there is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, the costume design was pretty cool. That was in tandem with Allie Dixon, who did a lot of that sourcing of materials.
So were any of these
actually
clothes...
the ma'am. Allie, the designer, the costume designer, is actually the girlfriend of Andrew Dismukes, who plays the brother. So that was a very interesting thing for her to do.
Who you can find playing stereotypical white characters on SNL this weekend. I love his. I love whenever they cast him as like alt-right guys.
I gotta say, this scene, I saw it in the trailer, is one of my favorites. Justin, the cinematography is really beautiful, and I was curious if there were any movies or anything that inspired you for these kind of nice, peaceful shots.
Well, I would say a lot of like Paul Thomas Anderson films. I think a lot of the kind of like moving in that we see in some of those movies, that was a big influence. And I would probably go off of that. And that was a big point that David wanted to make too, is trying to get some of those styles in there. Kind of throwing you that ball, David.
No, yeah, it's like a lot of like dolly shots. There's Big Horse. It's like a lot of dolly shots and yeah, like push-ins, and we just wanted a lot of like camera movement in the movie. I'm a huge fan of like Boogie Nights and stuff like that. So we did we wanted to do a crane. We never did get a crane, did we?
No.
Maybe we did.
We never got a crane. No.
Yeah, we never got a crane. Yeah. But yeah, we used dollies a lot, and Justin did a lot of steady camming. But yeah, we just wanted the movie to be very kinetic and kind of have the energy of like kind of those early or the late 90s Paul Thomas Anderson movies. Always trying to just compare myself to Paul Thomas Anderson.
He could have very easily done a watch party back in the day and compared himself to somebody else. So
yeah, to us.
Who would he have compared himself to, I wonder?
Robert Altman.
Robert Rodriguez.
Once upon a time
in
Pasadena, in Bollywood. Everyone knows Paul Thomas Anderson's famous Bollywood classics.
I really like that. Ed's gone.
No, you could say it.
No, I can't remember it. I can't remember the guy's name. Bob Seger. He has that Bollywood Nights song.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I should have let. Yeah, see, you sound like I should have let it go.
Nick comes on and references Bob Seger in the first minute. Nice.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite scenes. I think I love that's Red Jefferson right there, the bald fellow. I actually just saw him the other week. That I think he gives one of the best performances in this movie, in this scene. It's just like so weirdly understated.
He's so good.
Yeah.
You should check his new stuff out. and I would tag it, but I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, he does like a wrestling podcast now.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
Well, he's doing a new show too.
Oh, right.
No.
Yeah, this is the first scene we shot.
Oh, at the park.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We had no idea what we were doing when we shot this.
So, so Christina, you wrote the script. When did you come up with the idea for this, and how long did it take you to write this story?
I came up with this idea, like, how old was I? 19. And then it took me a while to formulate, and then we ended up shooting this when I was like 21, 22.
And now
All right.
Christina is 35.
And now I'm a bitch. I'm just giving age range. No, it took me a while to formulate this idea. I had a lot of inspiration from Todd Solondz's Happiness. That was one of my inspirations to really figuring out the tone of this movie. It took me a while. It took about 2 years to write. But it's kind of crazy, the indie movie lifespan of 2 years to write, 4 years to fucking be here right now talking to you on YouTube, you know?
20 minutes late to the presentation.
20 minutes late to the presentation. And it's like I worked so hard for nothing that I'm showing up for, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel you on that.
It's that crazy stoop traffic, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about stoops until you showed up, Christina.
Oh, I love stoops. I sit on some sometimes.
Yeah. So one of the things that really struck me was this through line about a divorce, and that you just hear the parents yelling. And as a child of divorced parents who raised their voices to each other, was this based on actual events?
Yes.
Yeah, there it is.
Should I then go into, by a show of hands, who's come from divorced families?
Well, me and Justin will have the same answer.
You will, all right.
No, not yet. Yeah.
Oh, how about on the count of 3? We'll all raise our hands.
I mean, it was so definitely dramatic. Like the flashback stuff, though. Like, to get kind of serious about it, was like, that was like when Christina came to me with the script, like early on. We were living together at the time. The script was like pretty short. I think it was like 40 or 50 pages.
Yeah.
And it was like this is kind of too long to be a short, but too short to be a full feature. And so we were trying to like figure out ways to like make the story more robust. And one of the ways we did that were kind of these flashbacks of them as children, and kind of like, because that was what I was thinking when I was seeing it, is like, man, these kids like falling in love with each other is hilarious and crazy. But like, it would also be nice to be able to kind of give a little bit of context, right, as to like why they're that way. And just kind of the trauma that kids go through with divorce, like at an early age, was something we wanted to touch on in this goofy screwball comedy.
Yeah, we wanted to touch on all the idiosyncrasies that come with the deep sadness of divorce and pain and love in a really funny way.
Yeah.
And Kim, how was it taking on this role, since you're a mom?
Yeah, it was great leading up to the actual filming, and then sort of feeling the weight of some of that stuff. Like, okay, I need to perform this, thing that a lot of us do sometimes. Like, I've, as I was doing some of the scenes, especially later in the film, I was, calling back like a time that I chased my kid into his room and pounded on his door, and it was thankfully locked, or I had to like take a break and relax. And I was just, calling on all these like really terrible moments of parenting that totally happen. And this is maybe different in some ways, but yeah, that was heavy and also delightful.
Yeah. I loved working with you on those scenes, Kim. Like, I thought, like, because you just had this method of like preparing for the scene. Like, when everybody was setting up the stuff like you and I would be talking beforehand. And I know you were also talking with Billy Rose, Christina's
I was
grandma.
about to say,
Yeah.
it's
like
so weird that like my grandma, who's kind of conservative, pretty conservative, was talking to Kim so in-depthly about this scenario for this really taboo subject.
Yeah, she was amazing, especially the scenes I'm thinking of. I feel like she did really just even give her opinion on things like this, or things that she was there for, that she knew about in Christina's story. So that was incredible. Something, I didn't expect that at all.
Billy Rose Parrish ghost directed this movie, really.
Wow. Kyle wants to know if the kids in the film knew the context of their characters' later entanglement.
Ooh, that's a good question.
No.
I don't think so. Yeah. I think we basically just gave them sides.
But the parents knew.
Yeah. The parents were aware, and they were totally game.
Yeah,
to just let their kids do whatever. No, but it was like, I mean, that's what I think when you cast kids in R-rated movies, that's going to be, you're not going to share everything with them, right? It's a job for them.
You're a prop.
Yeah, they're just they're a walking, talking prop.
I think, if they didn't know the later context, they did both seem to understand the parents fighting and the physical stuff and the yelling and all of that. They, especially the boy, he just, because he's
Charlie.
Yeah, and he we had a conversation about I was going to have to scream at him or yell at him. And he was we were just kind of getting to know each other. And I asked him like, okay, I'm about to have to scream at you or yell at you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how loud do you think I should be? Like, I'm kind of scared to do all the way to 10. And he took a second and he was like, do a 10.
Nice.
And I was like, okay. So
Charlie Reed also ghost co-directed this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they were both incredible. Like, I was actually super scared to work with kids, because I just I went to UT film school, and for some reason a lot of people doing film school, short films or whatever, cast kids, and they were all like, don't cast kids, it's the worst. Working with them is a nightmare. But it was super easy to work with them, actually, and I don't know, they were just consummate professionals.
Absolutely.
The scene is ridiculous.
The peach.
Summer wants to know if the peach theme was a specific gimmick or reference, or just something fun to include in the script. That's
a Christina question.
Yeah, so I don't notice it, but whenever I write, I end up including a lot of food into things that I do. So if you search me and watch a lot of my content, you'll see that food is a popular thing that I include, and it's really not intentional. So the peach was not intentional to reflect the vagina or something sexual. It was more so just something that I thought represented, which ironically I'm saying out loud, but thought that it represented a good transition between events and something to focus on, because something that you learn in improv is to have a real conversation while doing something completely opposite of what you're talking about. And so that to me was the peach, and the conversation that I guess it just highlighted it in the end.
Nice. I always just thought it was a vagina.
No, I really had no intention of making it sexual. I just, for some reason, I thought, oh yeah, a peach should be in this.
Yeah.
And
because it's not the only food. There's a lot of chocolate too, and a lot of candy and just sweet stuff in general in this movie. It's all kind of innocent.
Yeah. Now, Christina, you also hosted and wrote a show called The Chip Show. And did you plan on having the chips represent chips, or was there a different meaning for all the bags of chips?
No, I had. Is there chips in the movie?
No. I just because you're talking about food that you like to incorporate.
Oh yeah.
Food.
Oh, I see. No, yeah. I did not intend that to be like it's just really weird when I look at like the stuff that I've done. There's food in it, but I've never intentionally been like I'm a food girl. I'm a hungry
I've always
girl.
thought of you that way, unfortunately.
But like the chip show, for instance, I have so many chips, and I do a live version of it as well. But yeah, the chips are definitely a big part, but never was I intentional about thinking that I'm a big old hungry girl.
And if anybody doesn't know what this is, the chip show, you're interviewing people eating chips, talking about chips, and there must be 100 or 200 bags of different kinds of chips and snacks behind you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the first show I've
messy.
seen. First comedy show I've seen since the pandemic was Christina's Chip Show a couple weeks ago. It was amazing.
And should we go around the room and ask everyone what's your favorite chip or chip-like snack?
Yes, we should do that.
All right. We'll start with, since Kim was so excited.
I do get very excited, and I know this one isn't as flamboyant as I am, but I really love a rippled sour cream and onion, super salty, cheap chip.
Any brand loyalty there?
I mean, no, whatever's on sale. As
Okay,
long as it's
nice.
like, the cheaper ones are actually better, but whatever.
All right, David, how about you?
I'm a classic nacho cheesy or Doritos man.
All right.
I can't get enough of them.
Nice. Justin?
A more classic tortilla chip with tapatio on it.
All right, got it. And
Well,
Nick,
flattering
what's your
husband.
favorite kind of chip-like snack?
Curly.
Definitely.
That's an
Curly?
adjective.
Got it.
Yeah, like we mean
Tasty.
chips like American chips. I'm sorry.
I like a chippy.
I think of chips like the classic British chip, which
That sounds more like a
the
chicharron.
curly chip
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Arby's.
Christina, what about you?
Cheese balls.
I noticed you had 2 or 3 of those huge Costco-sized cheese ball containers in one of your episodes.
Yeah.
Yes. They're very prevalent.
And I don't know if these would be found out in Texas, but Funyuns were always my childhood.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
we got
yeah.
Funyuns
Yeah.
in Texas.
All right, good.
Oh,
Lay's.
Kyle in the chat said the peaches are like the roses in American Beauty, and for the sake of sounding like we intended that, yes.
Basically, these are talking points for your future interviews.
All right.
Al wants to know what pitch meetings were like to potential backers.
Oh man, I wish David Buckstein was on this right now. He'd have a really good answer for that. David Buckstein was our producer, and he's the one who like secured all of the financing. I don't know. I think a lot of whining and dining and getting them sufficiently drunk enough to accept giving over money to this movie.
I
But,
know one of our backers definitely, they told me that they decided to back it after a performance they saw me do of Terrence McKenna. So that was fun.
That's nice. Yeah. Yeah. We did have like an angel investor on our Kickstarter because we ran a Kickstarter at the beginning before we like got additional funding that David Buckstein procured. Hey, there's Severine. There's Big Horse himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good look. But yeah, like at the beginning, we got like I think on our first day of our Kickstarter, we got like $2,500 from some gentleman. I'm forgetting his name right now. Unfortunately, he's one of the executive producers of the movie.
Oh, Derek.
From
Derek
or not.
Delgado.
Well, not Derek. This was I'll have to look it up. But anyway, he was from Kabul, Afghanistan.
From Afghanistan.
Yeah, and just kind of like randomly backed the movie for $2,500, and like it was incredible. And we went to his profile, and he liked a lot of, or he backed a lot of like LGBT, like Middle Eastern movies and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, LGBT issues in the Middle East and especially in Afghanistan are like very taboo. So it felt like he kind of was into these kinds of subjects for movies. And so that was incredible, right? Like, so we started off with some of that, and that was like, that really got the ball rolling too. I think getting that money out there on day one.
Have any of you been surprised by the comments you've gotten or things like that? Somebody in Afghanistan who's backing you because of the message?
We got another message, Christina. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Where that woman messaged about the relationship?
Oh yes, when we were doing our Kickstarter.
Yeah. Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, we were doing our Kickstarter, and a woman reached out to us saying that she had been in a relationship with her brother for the past like 10-15 years or so, and they had like 2 kids, and it's actually an acronym like that what that is actually called when you're in an incestual what is it called?
Relationship.
Not relationship, but you're both aware of what the fuck you're doing.
Right.
We'll
Sure,
put
when
it
it's
out
not
to
like
our-
someone taking advantage of somebody else.
Exactly.
We'll put it
Yeah.
out to our viewers.
Yeah.
See if anybody wants to do some research online, and then we'll post it up in the.
Yeah. Man, that Peeps joke there is the dumbest joke in the whole fucking movie, like by
It is
far.
so stupid.
So stupid. I love it so much. It always gets a huge laugh, and I've never quite
I never
understood
know why.
Yeah.
Well, I'm great at selling things.
Yeah. It's like the most jokey joke in the movie. Like it doesn't move the plot forward at all. It's there just to be a joke. I'm totally in love with it.
I'm in love with it.
I'm in love with it.
I'm in love with it.
This was the day I learned Christina was allergic to grass.
Oh yeah.
Is that true?
We were hanging out, and she was like, "I gotta go inside." And I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "Well, I'm allergic to grass." And I was like, "You're rolling around in grass."
You wrote it, yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't you do like rolling around on a yoga mat or something?
Yeah. Man, Andrew is really, really good in these scenes. He's just good in this movie, I think.
What about me, David?
You're like pretty good.
God damn it.
Listen, I don't compliment people I'm in the same room with.
I wanted to ask you, Christina, about that bathtub scene. Did you totally whack your butt crack on the faucet?
Oh wait.
That's a good question.
You
Yeah.
did it
Yeah.
hurt so bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just kept going in the scene.
Because I'm a very professional person in general.
Yeah.
Like I show up to events that are hosted to celebrate what I've done, and I show up very aware, and I show up very promptly.
Yes,
fair.
on time every time.
And I
Yeah.
take care of what needs to be done. I'm a very scripted actor and human.
I agree with all that.
Yeah, that was a lie.
I'm kind of a savant, but without the wine.
Thank you for not pronouncing the T. I'm a savant.
My old guy therapist told me I was no longer an ingenue.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Oh, end of an era.
Wait, did you say you're
Celebrate.
a therapist, Kim?
Yeah.
Is your therapist also your agent or manager?
Right. I'm not auditioning you for ingenue roles anymore as your therapist.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite shots in the movie right there.
So I was doing some research on all of you, just some fun facts, and I found a picture of Kim that you were in a marching band.
Oh,
Yes. Yes, I was.
Deep dives.
And
Yeah.
and I'm sure you know, but I don't know if your castmates know that marching band is huge. If it's so huge out in Texas. So how many people what did you play, and how many people were in your marching band?
Well, first of all, I was in marching band through college in Arkansas, University of Arkansas.
Wow.
So, and just for the first year of college, because then I got pregnant and dropped out. But before that, yeah, band was huge. And I played the flute in high school and twirled a flag. And then to go to the university marching band, I had to learn the piccolo, and I was terrible at it. You don't have flute in marching band, apparently, just the piccolo.
Oh,
High notes. So But it was fun and a lot of hard work. Yeah.
Justin,
Wouldn't
you should
recommend
whip
it,
out.
though.
Justin, you should whip out your flute right now.
No, I can't compete with the piccolo.
Oh, that's right,
Oh,
Jen.
Mine myself, I like pica de gallo.
You should whip that out.
You should whip out that pico de gallo and play it like a fiddle. Ooh. That's an interesting comment. Yeah.
Ow. I need to call the cops. I'm a cop.
Yeah. I had a happy trail since age like 12.
I shave my happy trail so that it's a sad, dead, lonely trail. That only
there.
savages walk through and scrape by.
Hell yeah. I feel that.
Oh boy.
Happy trail, different colors, like it's jelly beans.
Mm.
Yeah, he loves candy.
Man,
Well, we're doing this.
I think the only scene we cut in this movie was on bikes.
That
right?
was that day. That was the first day that we cut a scene, right?
I guess we also like cut some of Jisoo's dialogue at the party scene, but
And
yeah,
the biking.
yeah, that biking scene. And we had this like oneer. Basically, anytime I've like planned out a shot to like not have any cuts, and it's just a dialogue scene, like an uncut dialogue scene, I always end up cutting it because it never really works. I've kind of learned to just get coverage of anything instead of just relying on a one take scene.
Yeah, I remember the scene with the car that you wanted to drive, like Justin was sitting on the road in the middle of the road. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
I was driving the car. I don't know why I had to be in the car.
Yeah, we should have gotten a stunt driver.
Right?
But yeah, we wanted it to stop with like the license plate like right on the camera or whatever.
Yeah, I was
dope.
Yeah.
I was
Like a
terrified.
macro shot of the license plate. It's like, all right, Kim, start half a mile down the road. Just book it.
Yes. Kelsey was on the side of the road with her arm, just like, when you get to this point, slam on the brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had some like cheap walkie-talkies from Walmart that we were using that surely had a massive delay.
Yeah.
You know, independent filmmaking is like those preschool toys that kids get, and it's basically you're making my first movie.
Sure. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's the buttons are big, the text is large. There's happy music playing. This is probably the best scene in the movie, right?
Yeah.
The scene's amazing.
But Danu is so amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. That still makes me laugh. Yeah, this is like the first scene I think we showed people.
You know what's crazy is that room was actually full of boxes. So our art department took all these boxes out of that room, and that's actually like those little frames or cushions.
Mm-hmm.
Really crazy. It was just
you
great.
couldn't even see them when we got in there. They were like covering up all the huge boxes.
Yeah, our art department moved all that out and made it look like the way that it did. And I'll credit to the art design, because we came up with so many cool things that you will eventually see later on while watching this movie that are like little hints.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Nathaniel Hendricks and like Sam Vine, I think, were the art department. Yeah, they fucking killed it, man. Like, and a lot of the props too, we ended up just sourcing from that barn where we shot the bedroom stuff. Like on the bottom part, like Christina's grandma, love her to death. She's got a bunch of old stuff stashed away in that barn. Yeah, I wasn't gonna use that word, but I'll let you do it since she's your grandma.
Yeah.
But it was like we just had so much we could grab from, and we basically just sourced all our props from there.
Wait, is grandma like American pickers? Like they could come to her property and start picking stuff?
I know that reference.
Yeah.
Sorry. Am I showing my age?
No, you can talk about American Pickers, man. It's up to you.
I just think of people picking their nose.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right, though. Yes, yes, that was a good way to think of it. Yeah, American Pickers could come in there and have a whole show about it. Yeah.
Also, we got a large grant from the Microsoft Corporation to include Minecraft in this movie, so I want to thank them for their large amount of money.
Minecraft, and I love the way their interface looks. You know?
I feel like there are so many revelations I couldn't find in my research that I'm getting now, Christina. So thank you.
Oh, really? Is this your first time experiencing me?
I think so.
In person, it's like, yes, in person.
Oh.
Was it made explicit what year this takes place? The box TV really throws me.
No,
that's a good question. Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't put timestamps on anything that I do. So this is just it, baby. It's the moment. Living life.
I feel like it's kind of purposefully vague as well, right? Like it's kind of like purposefully anachronistic. Like there's an iPad with Minecraft and there's like Facebook and cell phones and shit, but then also, like there's a tube TV, like all the music is from the 60s and 70s and everybody's kind of wearing 90s clothes. So it's like, it kind of takes place in a world that's adjacent to our world where all the time streams kind of flow together.
Also, I would say that the time period doesn't really matter because the story is what is the most important, not about the time capsule that maybe that lives in. This isn't like a period piece, you know. I would be wearing like rags and bleeding and
it's Dickens.
A man named Dickens.
Yeah.
And I know
this
David,
scene right here where the kid gets slapped was really hard to watch.
Yeah, that always gets a response from the audience.
That's good that it's hard to watch because you shouldn't hit kids and then masturbate.
Absolutely. Spoiler for what's about to happen.
Oh, that was the first scene I shot with that kid. And,
really?
And even though you don't see my face, the makeup artist, I think Abby Lincoln, maybe.
Or no, it was
Caitlin.
Yeah, it was Caitlin. Yeah.
Oh yes, Caitlin. Thank you. So she like made me look a little extreme. Like my hair was like in 90s. Like it was crazy. I looked very scary, and he looked a little scared of me. And we hadn't really had a chance to meet, so we did.
You just smack the shit out of him,
and then I had to fake slap him. Yeah, it was pretty scary.
Yeah, this is where we lost some people at our New York screening. Definitely had like a couple walkouts. There was this like one guy who like the entire he was like friends of one of our executive producers, and the whole time we were watching this movie in the theater, he was just like sighing loudly. He was like like whenever like anything remotely incesty would come up. And then in this scene, like I think he was with his wife or something, and they were just like, all right, and they just walked out, and then like everybody was like, hell yeah, that's awesome.
Jeez. Alan wants to know if there was a plan to string the audience along on whether or not they were biological siblings or not.
I think we wanted to make it pretty clear early on that they were full-blooded biological siblings, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Because then it's not incest if they're not related, right? Come on.
I feel like that's your new tagline. If it's not incest, it's not real.
Yeah, exactly.
I know in this scene, one of the big fights with music licensing was trying to somehow keep the temp track of Knowing Me, Knowing You
by ABBA.
By ABBA going on in that scene.
Yeah,
that was the hardest song to license and replace because it was like, man, you know what? It's just not the same.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's a difficult scene to have come across.
That scene, I think we found a good song finally, but man, I do miss that ABBA song every day. Not every day, but whenever I watch this movie.
Was there a pool table in this room originally that you shot?
Yes.
We had to fucking move it. We had to move everything out of this room.
It's such a cool shot, such a cool scene.
Yeah.
Now, where'd you find this guy that plays your father?
From a improv thing.
Okay, cool.
No, I'm just
cool.
kidding.
How did you make this movie from an improv thing?
Yeah.
No,
Justin saying,
No, we originally had somebody else cast in this role. We had Carlos, our good friend Carlos Lorado was cast as the dad. Not to say anything against Asaf. Asaf is incredible in this movie, but like Carlos was originally cast as the dad, but it was actually our producer David Buckstein, not to throw him under the bus, but who was like, you know, we had this like fake mustache on Carlos to make him look older and stuff like that. And he was like, this kind of makes it look like an SNL sketch or something. You know what I mean? When he's in this fake mustache, I just don't buy him as a dad. And so that was one of the hardest things we had to do, was like recast that role, because we loved Carlos. And
it was such a good decision, because Asaf looks like both Andrew and I's dad, like for real.
Totally. He looks like a combination of the two of you. But yeah, that's one of the only parts that we did like casting for. I think we had like a couple people read for it because we were trying to find kind of the right person. You know, we did auditions for the kids and then for the dad when we were recasting, and everybody else is kind of like had their parts written for them essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Big fan of this scene too.
Yeah, that was intense.
What the hell?
Hello?
They're on the goddamn phone?
No, Art can hear me.
We can hear you.
Yes, it was intense. Yes.
I mean,
hi, we have a caller, Christina, on the line.
Yeah,
She's calling from a port.
We're having fun.
It's so quiet.
A question for Justin. We were talking about, a time and era that this movie takes place in. Did you color correct this movie to anything in particular, to a look?
Well, we dialed in a look before, I think we shot the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And it was, that shot of the radio is kind of that perfect, like, wood paneling look that we were trying to do. So that was one of the first kind of pieces of the piece that we really nailed in from the beginning. And yeah, trying to get, 70s, 80s wood paneling to look nice and realistic was what we were going for, I think, from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of jumping back.
Oh, go ahead.
Kind of jumping back to that idea of like having this movie be a little bit out of time. I know you were talking about like the characters, and like everybody besides the brother and the sister are so kind of messed up and charged sexually, and you definitely didn't want it to feel kind of like in this world.
Sure.
But to kind of just have it be like, well, this isn't really exactly the world that we live in, so that's not definitely a period piece.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a great tactic to do.
Yeah, we did, because you and I, Justin, shot a test before we even shot the Kickstarter test. Like the Kickstarter trailer we did was kind of like a test for shooting this movie. And then before that, we even did some like in-camera tests, like figure out the color space and kind of like those whip pans and stuff like that. We were testing out those. And that was a lot of fun to kind of figure that stuff out before we even, like, I was like months before we even started shooting the movie.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a punny comment.
I love it.
I agree.
I need it on a Friday night, right? It's Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Nick would agree. I'm sure Christina would agree. We haven't talked enough about Nick.
I agree.
I agree.
No, we're good.
Nick is
we're
great.
about to get a lot of Nick in this movie.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love Nick. I loved how you played the character. I felt really bad for him because I felt like he was a cool guy who just grew up in the worst circumstances and was shit upon by everybody.
Yeah, it came pretty natural.
Yeah.
Did Christina give you any like feedback specifically on that character, or did she say just be you?
I think you wrote it as a short film, and then she wrote it as a short film. I was like, hey, do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah. And I remember reading when we just did the table read at the short film, I was like, this guy sucks. What the hell? and I was like, oh, so she screened me as someone who can play sucks well.
I mean, you did a great job with it, man. Yeah, you suck in this movie.
There's also, we'll get. I think I'll be able to still be here when we get to that part. There was like one part I just remember, like one night I was just like drenched and I was just like, it is so cold out here.
Yeah. I actually, honestly, you say that, but I never heard you complain the whole time, because it was like late November, early December.
Yeah.
And you were like drenched head to foot in water.
Well, I was like steaming though. And I think
yeah.
it was supposed to be a summer movie. And I was like, how's this supposed to be a summer movie?
Well, yeah, everybody's wearing jackets and shivering.
Yeah.
Well, it's out of time. We've already said it's anachronistic. So
I remember there was at one point where I was just like going really hard falling. And I just remember David goes up to me. He's like, you don't have to injure yourself. And I was like, oh, nothing, man. I don't know how to act. I can only injure.
Yeah. Been there, man.
I have a question as a watcher of this movie to Christina. Why didn't the dad get to go to the Orange Music Festival? That's what I didn't understand, and I felt really bad.
There's no reason. It's just funny.
Christina, you're showing your cards.
Yeah, I thought he just like totally forgot, like missed it. He just missed it.
I think it's because Lisa showed up. It's because Christina's character showed up, and he had to like put on a lot of, like, hey, we're having breakfast as a family and shit. And so he resents her for it. That's what I think.
Damn, that's deep.
Yeah.
I love
but
this.
I just made that up right now. So
all right.
I do love this. So sweet.
Yeah. There's really good acting in this scene.
I like that shirt. Does that come in adult men's?
Andrew's shirt is like the wallpaper at a Red Lobster. It's like semaphore.
Who threw that word out? Was that you, David?
What, semaphore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm putting you in the green room. There's no
what? You can't talk about semaphore on this show?
It's just a big word. We all don't know what that means.
It's a flag-based language that's used at sea.
Something you would learn on American Pickers, right?
That's right.
Something you would learn on a crabbing vessel.
David knows everything about Red Lobster. So
that's true.
yeah,
I'm a massive. We were in Hawaii. I was in Hawaii the other day, and I straight up ate at a Red Lobster in Honolulu. I'm not making that up.
Well, we believe you. That's not the problem.
That's not the problem, or why we're silent.
Yeah, I love this. Justin here, my brother, shot this movie, but also did the like original score for this movie. All the piano stuff that's in the movie, Justin wrote and recorded, and it's like, something we were talking about earlier with like kind of the color space and the time that it's set and everything. Like, we just wanted everything to feel very nostalgic in this movie, right? Like you're remembering a more fond time. So I think like all of the weird time dilation stuff is all in service of that, of making it feel like it's nostalgic, right? And that's what these flashbacks are for as well.
Someone should tell me what we're on.
What do you mean? In the movie?
Yeah.
Do you not have it pulled up, Christina?
I do have it pulled up.
We're on the flashback where the kid's holding the llama and you just got taken away.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
That-
so maybe my.
There we go.
Whatever.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's like it's cutting to you guys like running through the woods now.
Yep.
That was so heartbreaking. Ugh.
That
Yeah.
was so hard.
That was a pickup. We didn't
That
have
was
that in the movie
pickup.
originally.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did a test. We did a test screening, and somebody was like, "What's the point of these flashbacks?" And we were like, "Uh oh, we should probably figure that out."
Yeah.
And then, but then it made us realize it's like, oh well, we need to see that moment where they're separated, right? And so I'm really glad we got that comment because we went back and shot that scene and a couple other things.
Like a year later.
Yeah, it was like a year later.
Do
Yeah,
you guys remember being in the square of Crockett and that radio host came out to us?
yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, "Y'all, they are filming a movie out here in Crockett right now."
And in Crockett, like the little town had speakers so you could hear the radio station in the town square. And we just heard, "Oh shit, look." Not "oh shit."
They wouldn't say that. It's not in safe harbor hours.
"Oh shit, fuck my asshole." They are shooting a goddamn show. I'm gonna shit my pants.
I'm going to murder God. They are filming a movie out here.
Yeah, shout out to Crockett.
Yeah, shout out to Crockett, Texas. Big Fox
and to
News
that
town.
foul mouth radio DJ who was swearing a storm.
Yeah.
On the yeah.
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 Also, I'd like to thank the Facebook Corporation for allowing us to use their app in this movie.
I love Facebook. They do so much for the community.
Yeah.
Talk about this this actress here. She had a great line earlier that's also in your trailer, a conversation with Christina. Where'd you find her?
Oh, she used to do comedy, and she was like kind of a YouTube star-ish, you know. She made like music videos and songs and stuff, and then she started doing stand-up, and you know, and then she stopped doing stand-up and doing something else. But I sourced her because like she's so much sweeter than the character that she plays. She's really kind, but also she plays this character so well because she can kind of relate to that influencer, like I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Kind of POV. Yeah.
Yeah, her like stand up and her YouTube stuff was kind of in that style already too. That was one that when we kind of had to kind of scratch our head on like who to cast for this role. Yeah. And then kind of once we got to her, it was like, oh duh, we should have just had her the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a perfect fit. And then we auditioned her like when she was like in her car, like her dad was driving her to another audition.
It was so funny. And then she was like, she said to David and I, "Y'all are so weird." We were like, "I guess we are."
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was like all of us like comics, and we were doing like a scene in the car at one point, and Tay was just like, it's Tay who I guess had done like actual film stuff, and then it's all comics, and she was just like, this is not normally how like off-screen stuff goes. Because we would just be making fun of each other the whole time. And she was like, this is not a normal film set crew.
Yeah. Our assistant director, Kelsey Rogers, had quite a lot on her hands on this set. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Working with a bunch of comedians.
I do love this whole scene.
I love this scene. Yeah. I think that's one of the funny. It's one of like the best written, just like funny scenes in this movie.
Yeah. The poster, like everything is so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a totally different house. Oh, that's so fucked up.
So
this is the
any
most fucked up part of the whole
insights
movie.
with this scene here?
Yeah. Yeah, you got a wardrobe story about this, right, Christina?
Yeah. The blood wasn't like red enough. So they had to keep retouching my vag.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I've got a picture of it somewhere on like a phone, but it's like you laying down with your legs spread with that like jump what do you call that? A romper on. And like it's Caitlin is just like, I think she's got a blow dryer on it to like make sure it was dry. Yeah. That was really disturbing.
It's a wonderful story.
Yeah, there's a lot of disturbing shit on the set.
I remember walking into that room and Skylar, our sound recordist, was just sleeping because it was one of those long days, and I just like look at Skylar, and then I look at what's going on, and everyone's kind of like morose and kind of sitting in a corner, and Christina's just facing the sky. David's got his phone out, and I was like, I'm gonna just kind of keep working on camera stuff.
Shout out to Skylar Hupp, man. He's one of the best in the biz. We should have had him on this stream.
And Kyle wants to know if it's actual blood.
Oh yeah,
totally. Oh yeah,
real blood. We all cut ourselves and put it into a bucket so we could all have
sisterhood.
Yeah. Hey, there's our producer, David Buckstein. He's the Christian. He plays the Christian protester, even though he's hella Jewish.
And Jews aren't Christian.
Yeah, I learned that.
I learned that the hard way.
I learned that the hard way. There's only one Christian Jew, and he's got a whole book
that's
about
Christian Bale.
This is like the most professional shot in the movie for sure. This is our like Warner. It's just one long take, Justin on the steady cam. This is like the Boogie Nights shot of the movie for sure.
How many takes did this take? Because this is a great long shot and it looks good.
I was like
7.
6 or 7. Yeah.
About 7. I think we spliced on one of those whip pans too. So it's
yeah. It's technically 2 takes. It's pretty close to the end though that we did the splice.
Yeah.
Did we miss the David Howe cameo?
Oh yeah, I was in that. I was in the oneer, but I've also got some lines coming up. Okay. I wasn't supposed to play that part originally. I was supposed to be the Christian protester originally. But then we had like 3 different actors that we were gonna have play the character that I ended up playing, and they like all like either were unavailable on the day, or so we had to like change the day of shooting the scene. So like one of the guys we had cast couldn't do it, and the other guy was like stuck in San Antonio with his car in the shop. And then so I was like it was like peak frustrating for me because we were trying to like get the shoot up and going. It was a night shoot. We were like working throughout the day to get it ready. And I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. And I was like, just give me a Santa costume or something.
Oh yeah. But.
Yeah, this is our producer's house. So we shot this.
Yeah.
That was one of the coolest houses.
Yeah. Yeah, it had this huge like backyard deck area where we shot all this stuff. But yeah, it was like during the Thanksgiving break when all the actors were off, it was like me and Justin and David, our producer, and I think Christina, you were there for a bit too.
Yeah.
And some of the art department just like setting all this up and getting all the lighting the way we needed it to be, because it was like a 3-day shoot out here for this party scene.
The first day was such a big party.
Yeah.
And then after the first day, everyone realized like, oh man, we gotta be quiet and we can't party.
We did have a keg though, which was nice.
Yeah.
That's what all that investor funding went to, was the keg.
Yeah, got him.
Has your producer allowed any of you to come back to his house since you finished shooting?
Absolutely not. No.
I'll be right back.
Take your time.
No. No, I won't. I won't even wash my hands.
Like at the chip show the other day.
Deep cut.
So that weed is not real weed because that would be illegal. But it is this weird herb that my buddy who sells weed also had. And it was like non-illegal herb. And some of the actors, like Kenna specifically, who plays Mercedes, like he's like pretty straight edge and like doesn't do that kind of stuff, but like ended up loving that legal herb that we were all smoking on set. It was a blast.
What is it?
I don't even know. I'll have to ask my buddy. I'm not going to name drop him right now because I just said he sells weed.
Well, yeah, no, I was more interested in I didn't ask you to drop his name.
Listen, here's his social security.
I want to know the product.
So wait, so I have a question. So somebody that sells weed thinks, hey, what if I have somebody who says, no, thank you, I don't smoke. And then he says, aha, but I've got this vial of.
Well, I think it was something he liked to sprinkle into his. No, it wasn't oregano. It was like something he liked to sprinkle into his own weed. It wasn't quite CBD. It was something else, but it was like a supplement to the THC that you're already smoking.
Like a Parmesan cheese on a ravioli?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't literally Parmesan cheese, but very much that works. That analogy.
Nick, was this water cold or warm? Were they?
I can't remember. It was sitting out long enough that it was. Yeah. It was just room temp.
I'm noticing now all the dirt specks in that water.
Well, I remember someone pointing out how the water just turns into the color of the clothes.
Yeah.
It's like a brand new shirt.
Because it was pretty much like that Sunday. It was like, all right, well, get in the tub, Nick. And then I just stayed in there.
For just hours.
For a good like hour or two. And they're like, all right, let's do the next water scene. And then, the water would just turn into the color of the clothes I was wearing. I still wear that red shirt. I fit in it so much better now.
Hell yeah. Well, it shrunk in the water.
Well, no, I shrunk.
Oh, right. Excuse me.
It's my proudest moment that I wear something that was originally supposed to be, it made me look fat.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That should have been the tagline for the movie right there.
I wear something that made me look fat?
No. You're the one talking about your brother's dick and how hard it is.
Close.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to give shout outs to Yamina here in this scene. Yamina fucking killed it in this role.
Is she another stand-up comic?
She's like an improviser and like sketch comedian. Yeah. She just moved up to Chicago.
Yeah, I was in a movie called Call Me Brother. It was a little weird, all right? Some sister and brother, they were making out. But
don't Google it, okay?
Yeah, don't Google it. It's a little weird if you ask me, but hey, it's another credit on my IMDb.
Yeah. This is the most extras I've certainly ever worked with. Oh, sorry. What's that?
Oh, I was just saying that's Christina's.
Oh, okay.
How long was that shot? That was a long shot.
Yeah, that last one, I was gonna say that's our second oneer. I never really thought of it that way, but that was a pretty long shot. We just like set up the whole fucking room, so we were like, we might as well get some cool shots out of it. Yeah. Oh boy, that's some gross stuff right there.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about that?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that was the art department again. We tried to figure out how to make a realistic looking turd for a while.
Yeah.
And they came in with like the packing that you put at the bottom of like a bird's cage, and they come in these like little tubes, and I think they just smeared chocolate on it. But then it just like, still, we had it in the movie. It still didn't look realistic. So that's one of the very few digital effects shots in the movie. We actually like went on Craigslist and hired a VFX guy in order to make it look more like real shit.
We
Yeah.
put a lot of effort into the shit.
Yeah, yeah.
How much of your budget went into this visual effects on Pooh?
It was on. I think it was like $35 or something. Like it was super
Wow.
cheap. Yeah. We basically what some guy just like basically was like, hey, yeah, here's a test, and we were like, man, this looks good enough to where we could just not pay this guy right now. You know what I mean? And just use it. And then of course we didn't, but we actually paid him. But
hey, I gotta go. I want to say
me.
bye. Good seeing you guys. I gotta go do a show.
Oh, what show are you doing?
Peep Show. I gotta go do the Vegas release.
Have fun at Peep Show, man.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you, Lauren.
Why was that so awkward?
You know, it just happens to be.
Kyle wants to know why that. Kyle,
dude, I want to know that too, Kyle.
Yes, we're. I'm curious what you're referring to. So if you want to repost that in the form of a question,
I could tell you why that. Because
why that? What?
I think he left it for you to decide. Kim, why that?
You know, because brothers and sisters have a special bond.
I agree.
Whether you want to or not. That's why.
My brother, but not that close.
That's a great line from Nick. I believe he was here for that one.
I will say this movie was really hard for my kids to watch. I have a daughter and a son
Right.
who were like 14, 15 maybe. How many years ago?
That we shot this?
15 at
like,
the time, yeah.
Yeah.
It came out. Maybe 16, 17. They were very uncomfortable watching this. I didn't make them watch it together, of course.
Yeah.
But,
Me and Justin watched it with our parents, and that was pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're starting to like it more.
I think they like it. Yeah. That's a good looking shot. The smoke in the back is a really nice touch. Gives it some nice texture there. I honestly
Christina,
I was gonna say real quick. I low-key think the best shots in this movie, because we like pre-planned all the shots. We had like a full shot list and everything for everything before we even set foot on set. Like it was like we planned everything out. But the best shots of the movie are when we just gave Justin the camera and told him to shoot handheld.
Justin's so fucking talented. It's great.
Yeah. That last scene when we'll get to it, but
yeah.
Chaos.
Total chaos. Yeah.
And then you're like, I want it to be chaotic. Just capture it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have any idea how to shoot it, so I was like, just go. Yeah. I'll be right back as well. Give me 1 second.
Everybody's going to take. Wait, does he have a peep show too?
A peep in the toilet.
Right. Christina, I was curious with your background in improv and stand-up, did you find yourself having trouble going off scripted line, your own scripted lines, or was it kind of easy for you to do that?
Yeah, it was hard to go to it's different as a writer and then acting in it. It's hard to go off script from what I wrote. For me personally, I think it was easier for other people to go off. We didn't do a lot of off scripting through this shoot. Like there wasn't a lot of off improv. I mean, some stuff is improvised, but not, some films, the majority of it is kind of improvised, or maybe half of it or a quarter of it, but it was very small part was improvised in this film. And for me, it was hard to go off script because I wrote it. So it was like, yeah.
Welcome back, David. Hope you
Thank you. You hope I flushed?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I flushed.
Okay. Good.
I remember.
I remember getting a big gulp of rehydration in my mouth.
I agree. Where are we at? Where are we at in the movie? Where are we at? No, I was saying I always drink when I watch this movie.
Me too.
Because I'm not an alcoholic. But it's that last scene is the one I always have to pee during because I've had like 2 beers by that point.
David and I would always get like kind of tipsy before we would watch this movie. We'd sit together and
During the
laugh.
screenings.
And laugh at other people's reactions.
Yeah. It's great
for
for
the
research.
performers here, for Kim and Christina. Can you drink or do anything before you perform, or do you have to work totally sober?
I have to work totally sober sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes, but it depends. Like how, if it's something I do consistently that I kind of know better, I'm like, yeah, I know how much I can drink before I go up there, and then that makes it quite an experience.
Yeah.
I can drink before I perform, but I can't smoke before I perform. Like
I'm more the opposite. Yeah.
Oh, really? See, for me, it's like when I drink, it's like a little bit of liquid courage. It loosens me up, and I'm just like a little more in the moment, especially if you're doing like improv, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm doing an improv show and I smoke weed beforehand, I get so fucking in my head about every decision, and I get so scared. That's amazing. You could do that's like a superpower, Kim, that you can smoke. I wish I could smoke weed before an improv show.
Maybe it's a problem. Maybe I should slow down.
Maybe.
I'm doing a show tonight and I've been smoking weed, so we'll see how that goes.
Are you doing Peep Show
an improv show or a stand-up set?
Peep Show.
I'm doing Peep Show, which is commentary on porn.
Which is basically what this Call Me Brother film threat watch party is.
We're basically watching porn together that I made. I cultivated into a real life love story.
This is the ultimate OnlyFans post right here.
I am OnlyFans. You can't define me by my fan. You can only define me as my only.
I agree.
Sorry, that was weak. I'll work on it.
It's okay. Yeah, you got an hour before the show.
Find my vape.
I think my biggest question is, will there be a bloopers reel at any point
of tonight's show? It's already all going to be
yeah. It's in it. We're in it. No, but there isn't a bloopers reel per se. I mean, maybe I don't know if I want to go through all the fucking B-roll of this movie to find them, because I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff in there. But if you buy the Blu-ray, there is like one kind of blooper that's in it. It's like whenever, like early in the movie when they're in the convenience store, we like follow them. The mics were still hot on the dudes in the background that were working at the cash register. And so we like kind of had some of their like whispered dialogue that we like isolated. And that was some really funny stuff.
That's funny.
What else can we find on the Blu-ray?
There's an audio commentary that Christina and I recorded over Zoom.
Yay!
Yeah, there's Christina's butt.
Did she lose her vape pen in that as well?
Not audibly. She might. I can't speak to her experience.
I don't have experiences.
Yeah. There's a like featurette as well. There's like the trailer and the Kickstarter trailer, which are two separate things, and then like a short film that Christina and I made before this movie is also on the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
We probably should have put those deleted scenes on the Blu-ray. I didn't even really think about that. But again, I just don't want to go through old footage. That's man, this shit is shot incredibly. Mm-hmm. I love the lighting in the scene.
This is where I wasn't sure. Like a 5-year-old would get it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
And he has that boner.
Yeah, the boner.
Yeah. There's the title. Everybody loves when you say the title of the movie in the movie.
They do. They love it so much.
They love it.
Here comes Kim.
This was my favorite stunt scene for sure.
Yeah.
Driving onto the grass.
Yeah, exactly.
In a Subaru.
Yeah.
Door wouldn't open. Door was so hard to open.
Was that a stunt penis that Christina was almost grabbing?
Yeah, that was like a hair. That was like what are the thing that you put in hair to create a bun, right? Like, and then you like fold hair over it.
Gave that to us.
Yeah. We just like stuck it in his pants. Also, Asaf is wearing like both my underwear and my undershirt there. I think he still has that. I don't think I wanted it back.
Probably not.
Oh, Danu.
Yeah, this is the shot Justin was talking about where we were just kind of like, well, just go shoot it, man. Yeah, the prep for that scene, Kim, was out of this world. Just like getting in the right headspace for that scene, like getting yourself like amped up. I really enjoyed working with you. Like, preparing for that. Yeah.
It was really cool. Yeah, it's a cool experience for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the emotional like core of the movie here. Emotional climax, anyway.
Yeah, Andrew's so good here, and Christina. Oh, so good.
Yeah, I actually like teared up because we shot this at like 5 a.m. It was like as the sun was coming up.
Yeah.
And I was like, and Christina, I was like, okay, Christina, can you like cry on this take? I was like, it's such a dumb, that's terrible directing. But I was like, cry this time. And then like she just got like tears in her eyes, and I just started like fucking crying as we were shooting it.
I was hoping that Andrew's character would run after her and grab her and not let her go.
Well, that's that's kind of what they're doing here.
Yeah. And then this scene happens.
Of course. This is what y'all motherfuckers came here for, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
And
I think we want
love it.
Yeah, the audience by the end of the movie is wanting this to happen. The dirty fucks.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if anybody ever answered why that.
Why that? Like yeah.
Kyle never followed up.
Yeah. Well, Kyle, that's why.
The peach.
Yeah, there's the peach. Yeah, it's a little trick of the trade. Those are not peaches.
What?
Those are persimmons.
Those are persimmons. Yeah. Peaches were out of season in Crockett, Texas when we were filming this. So it was Christina's grandma's idea and the art department's idea to inject persimmons with like pink food dye.
Wow.
And peel them. They like boiled them and peeled them. It was really involved.
I feel like Grandma should have gotten an advisor credit on this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
She's got a very special thanks.
Yeah.
She's got a way to go.
She's got a way to go. She needs to help out a little bit more on this fucking movie before she gets that credit. Let's get real.
Any plans for a prequel or sequel to this movie?
No, but David and I are working on something again. So,
ooh,
wow,
right. It's early yet. In fact, I don't even really know what are we doing. No, I'm just kidding.
We're doing stuff.
No, but yeah, we'll definitely work together again. It was a blast working on this movie.
It was a blast from the past.
Yeah. Justin also in his myriad roles on this movie did the credits. Good job on the credits, Justin.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And so how was it for you two brothers working together? Do you always get along? Did you get along on this?
Well, yeah, I mean,
part,
ups and downs, right? I mean, in the house scene, which is the first 6 days, you said a slumber party. I mean, we slept in the same bed.
Yeah.
And it was like the first time we had really hung out, I think, in a good long time.
Like years. Yeah.
Years. And then it was just like, how about you guys make a movie together? And after 12 or 14 hours of shooting,
sleep in the same bed.
You sleep in the same bed. And then it's like you both just drank 3 cups of coffee like an hour ago. It's like 2 a.m. You have a sunrise thing. And it's like, cool. Yeah. It's like, we won't fight or sleep.
Yeah. I mean, there was like pretty much everybody on set like had one day where they broke. Right. Yeah. Like it was a really fast paced, like 14-day shoot. You know, like I'll admit, like I had a day where I like threw a script up in the air and it like landed on a roof.
I remember that.
And then like
I was the one that caused it.
Yeah, I probably, yeah. And then like
I was.
and then And then like I know our assistant director had like a breakdown day, and like I know like
I had a breakdown day.
Yeah, you definitely had a breakdown day. It was like we all just like had one day that was like our day where we could just like lose our shit and not be judged for it. kind of. But I think it was good. It was like kind of a bonding experience in that way. Anyway, the movie's done, but it's a fast, quick 78 minutes. Yeah.
It is, and I think you cut it down from the 4-hour Snyder cut, right?
That's correct. Well, Warner Brothers made us make it 78 minutes. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for spending your Friday evening with us. I know, Christina, you're going to do a show tonight, and it's got to be amazing to be able to do live shows again.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. It feels amazing.
Awesome. And so anything else you're working on, Christina, you want to talk about? Like, I think I read the Chip Show is back.
Yeah, the Chip Show is back. I'm working on a TV series, a TV pilot called V, that's in celebratory of my dead dog, but also it's about influencer culture. And then a secret project that I'm working on, another feature film that I want to include David and Justin on whenever it's complete.
Very cool.
Otherwise, you can find me at Instagram at Lil Bird Killer and Twitter at IBSuper.
Very good.
Wonderful. Kim, what about you? What do you got coming up?
You know, the world is just open for me to do whatever anyone asks me to do. I did get a goat, and I have another goat coming tomorrow. So,
wow.
You know, like I said,
Very
I'm
nice.
very busy. You can follow me at 479-903.
Don't dox yourself. You can't dox
yourself.
Any Piccolo TikToks coming up, Kim?
Oh gosh, no. Like I said, I didn't do well at the piccolo. I faked it more than I played it. I just mostly liked the marching.
Also, I can't believe you didn't call it a pickpock. I mean, that's very obviously.
Got it. Awesome, Justin. What do you have coming up?
Ditto on like what did you say? The world is a chasm, is like a deep pandemic chasm. Yeah. But I have a script that I've been working on for a while, and gonna see where that takes me. A short, but yeah, that's about it.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
I gotta shoot that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then David, you're set up. You look like you do podcasts from your lair. Like you got the mic.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've got a podcast. I've got a video game podcast. Actually, I'm a big gamer. I always have been, as you can see from the Minecraft in this movie. It's a Minecraft podcast. No, it's not. But it's a Nintendo podcast. It's called Super Switchheads, and that goes up every Wednesday. I've got a couple other comedians like host that with me. If you're into gaming, check that out. And then also, like Christina said, we're working on some stuff. And then I'm the editor as well for Castlevania. The upcoming season 4 is coming out on May 13th. So not quite as much incest that I can promise in that season as is in this movie, but yeah, that's a great show, and I'm totally delighted, and I can't wait for that to come out as well.
Awesome. Well, Castlevania is certainly some 8-bit memories right there.
Oh yeah. It's a little bit more modernized now that the show is out. It's kind of an anime style, but yeah, check it out. It's not like this movie at all, but it's good.
All right. And then I don't want to feel left out of telling everyone where I'll be.
Yeah.
I'll be here May 14th for Hawk and Rev, Vampire Slayers Watch Party. And then May 21st, we challenge you to join our Golden Arm Watch Party, which is about arm wrestling. And then we have Memorial Day Watch Party for the documentary Bastards Road. And then I wish we could have a watch party for Christina's comedy show.
Yeah,
we could probably make that work out. Yeah,
make that happen.
You know what? That would be a blast to be able to watch a show with somebody you know and be able to interact and yell out things.
I think Film Threat should only host Christina Parrish centric content from now on.
Yes.
I think if you guys are ready to pivot to that, I think she's probably ready, right? You ready? Yeah.
I'll do anything.
Well, on that note, thank you everybody for spending your Friday evening with us here on the Film Threat Watch Party. We'll be here next week at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Panelists, if you want to stick around, I'm going to end the broadcast and then we can really get into the comedy part of movie reviews. But
we'll get into the orgy portion of this stream. Yeah.
Wonderful. Then we can find out what's really in that weed guy's fake herb.
I'll give you guys his whole contact information and his whole shit.
All right, so let's do like how they do it on American Pickers and give a big bye.